Oh, sorry. I was just playing Palworld on my Steam Deck and smelling it because I'm playing it on high settings, and it sounds like a jet engine revving up. As the internet and video games push forward, we move more towards the trend of super consumerism and live service games, which is attached to that super consumerism. Never letting a game die. Keeping a game updated, even though I feel like in most cases those games don't deserve to be alive for as long as they are. Take example for Fortnite. Came out in 2016 and has been going strong and receiving updates ever since then. Yeah, sure, they change the maps, they change the weapons, they add new skins, but at the end of the day, it's still the same core gameplay loop. It really isn't a game intended to be as played as long as it has been played. But the reason the game is still as popular as it is today is because of things like FOMO. The Battle Pass. If you don't play the game every single day, you won't get what's in tier 100 of the Battle Pass. And all those Fortnite kids that are doing the orange justice, people that are hitting that sweet gritty, people that want that Goku skin, they gotta play Fortnite every single day. Back in my day, when I was a child and I wanted to play a video game, what I did was I beat the game that I was playing at the current time, or I stopped playing it because it was a piece of trash. Although when I was a child, one of the games that I finished was Sonic 06, and I refused to beat Red Dead Redemption for some reason. I don't know, I was a stupid child. But after I beat my game, what I did was I went out and I bought a new game. Therefore, that old game was dead. But it's not like the game was bad just because I stopped playing it. I would just ran my course with the game. It just wasn't what I wanted to play at that current time. Which at the end of the day, I think that's what video games should be. It should be for the consumer and not for the bigwigs at a tech company or the investors at some big company like Microsoft. Because we have all seen what happens to video game titans when they become for profit and not for the consumer. Stuff like Bungie laying off literally everybody they've ever hired, or Microsoft dissolving companies that made their best games ever in the past 10 years. Because these companies want live service games because they continuously make money and they make their business report look better on paper, this makes them more enticing to stock investors, which leads to unhealthy expectations of video games. As I've gotten older and I've consumed more and more internet content, I have seen the idea of dead games creep up more and more, and I've never seen it as hard as with Palworld. Now, I missed out on the initial hype of Palworld. I just wasn't interested in the game. I looked at the gameplay, I was like, this game isn't for me. But since last night, I bought the game and I'm already totally addicted to it. It's a phenomenal game. Very fun. It's like what I want Pokemon to be. It's like Pokemon Breath of the Wild Ark Survival. That shit's fun, dude. It's more than just Pokemon with guns. And it has really given me an insane amount of respect for indie developers, and it's one of the main reasons that I only play older AAA titles and newer indie games, because indie is just on top right now. Every AAA game that's ever... Starfield fucking sucks. Chop Goblins, however, $5 for that? That's a fucking steal, brother. And with the rise of live service games, companies pumping all these resources into one game instead of making new games, we see the consumer switch their ideology and saying that if a game doesn't maintain 1 billion players, that it is a dead game. If you just go on YouTube and you look at Palworld Dead, you get all these videos talking about, Palworld is a dying game because it has 0 players ever. I even found this Steam community post asking people if they thought it was sad that Palworld is dead. Let's just look at the current player count of Palworld. 42,000 people playing right now. 51,000 in the past 24 hours. God damn, does that seem like a dead game to you? No, that seems like a very healthy game. It's not the peak 2 million players that it had 7 months ago, 42,000 right now. There are game developers, indie developers that would literally murder someone to have that player count right now. It is absolutely asinine to expect a game that has sold 25 million copies to maintain that peak 2 million player count. Like, if you think that, you are literally like a sea anemone just kind of sitting at the bottom of the ocean, flaring your little tentacles everywhere, hoping that Finding Nemo comes and puts itself inside of you. It is a single player early access survival game that gets steady updates. It's not live service slop. And I'm going to be honest with you, one of the main reasons that Palworld did as well as it did is because of content creators. And when content creators realize that, hey, Palworld isn't getting me as many views, it's not getting me as much money, they dropped the game. Therefore, it creates this pseudo-intellectual take that Palworld is dead. No, it's not. It has 42,000 players right now. You're absolutely stupid if you think that the game is dead just because it can't maintain an unstable, unrealistic 2 million player count. Do you eat crayons for breakfast? I'm using Palworld specifically for this video topic because the Palworld developer shares the same opinion as me. Palworld's community manager says our dead game fixation is ruining gaming. I agree. People are too fixated on the idea of falling off. They have brain rot FOMO. They have brain rot live service brain, and all they can think about is the newest, the biggest thing. And if anybody ever stops playing the game, they say, oh my god, I can't play the game anymore. I'm not going to be cool if I play Palworld in the world in the year 2024. In an interview, the Palworld community manager developer went on record to say, I don't think it really serves anyone to push gamers to play the same game day in and day out. You remember Minecraft? You remember how you played that every single day when you were a child and how you never played anymore? It's because you burnt yourself out of it, you fucking dumbass. Instead of doing Miss Lockwood's math homework, you were sitting your fat ass on the couch playing Minecraft on the Xbox 360. And that's okay, but it was because that game was good. And it got a constant stream of updates that were actually substantial, and it kind of changed the game. But over time, you know, games can only change so much. He said Palworld is not in a position to pump out massive amounts of new content, urging players not to apply that expectation to everything they play. That is the godsend of gaming takes, because if we take this expectation that every single video game has to be live service slop, or just the idea that live service slop should exist, you're missing the point of gaming. Sure, Fortnite is free, but you've played $1 billion on the Battle Pass and on V-Bucks just to buy Goku skin. And next week, when there's a naked Five Nights at Freddy's FNAF Fredbear skin, you're gonna drop another $30 on it just because that's what you're gonna do, because you have FOMO. You can't just play a game and be okay with that. No, you have to be a super consumer and keep on buying a game. Unless you're like me, the complete and total Giga Chad that has not spent a single dime on Fortnite, and you've been playing it since 2020. And that's the reason that a lot of these companies like Microsoft, now Bungie, are dissolving their smaller companies and opening new companies, because they want to open live service slop. And when that live service slop doesn't do well, what do? They shut it down a year later. And then any of the money that you put into the game is just gone. Remember the times when you would go out and buy a video game and you would just have it and you could play it and enjoy it, and then when you were done, you would just move on to the next video game? That's what video games are meant to be done, bruh. And indie developers understand that. They get why people play video games. They want to have fun experiences, so what they do is they get a small team of guys that just love video games, and they make a good game. People like it, people play it, it runs its course, and they move on to the next game. Like, a game, quote-unquote, dying is not a bad thing. It's, like, normal. It's healthy for the gaming industry. And by playing live service slop day in and day out and buying those battle passes, buying those V-Bucks, buying the naked minion Gru skin, you're supporting that. And you're supporting the death of good video games. I want to end this video talking about Palworld a little bit. I'll probably make a dedicated video on it at some point, but bro, I am so upset that I did not play Palworld sooner. I bought the game specifically because I saw this headline and I was like, okay, I'm going to try out Palworld. And I was playing it last night while I was on the phone with my girlfriend, and I was like, wow, this game is cool. I like it. It's really fun. And after I'm done recording this video, I'm probably going to play Palworld on my Steam Deck and beat the shit out of some Pokemon with a baseball bat. Like, it's just fun, dude. Some indie games that I would recommend you go check out that I've played this year. Palworld, although, like, I think everybody's played Palworld at this point. Soul King, it's like a first-person shooter. It's pretty cool. Chop Goblins, another pretty cool game. And I know it's not an indie game, but play Morrowind because Morrowind is the best game ever created. So, yeah. Bye.